the evolution of Philippine software services providers. How have their service offerings and methods changed with the megatrends?
A lot has changed since the days of punch cards and mainframe programming, and our industry has shown the ability to change with the times. What opportunities are the current megatrends bringing to our shores, and how can we capitalize on those opportunities? The country's leading software service providers share their perspectives and strategies in this heavyweight panel.
Mobile, and our secretary said 99% of the Philippines are going to be on the internet, and that's really because of smartphones. And broadband is going to become less expensive. It will be in the hands. We don't need in the hands of our people. We don't need internet cafes as badly. And because of mobile, the need to integrate our systems, our transactional internal systems with our web internet-facing services, end-to-end integration is going to be very important. Now, who can afford the infrastructure? That's not going to be so much of an issue because cloud services have come. Cloud services, you pay per transaction, you pay for value. You don't have to make a large investment in hardware and software. You know, so those people who are like IBM, who are manufacturing servers, we're having to face this mega trend of the cloud, that we will not be able to sell as many servers to individual companies, but we will have to sell software as a service, infrastructure as a service, applications as a service. That's cloud. Now, with all of that, you know, working together, there will be more transactions happening on the internet. There will be so much more data that will be generated, and that's where big data is coming from. Structured data, unstructured data, even video are data. They're pixels. Pixels are data, and these can be useful for analytics. So the next megatrend is analytics. And the good news for the Philippines is we're only 2 or 3 years behind most of the other countries. So we can be eminent in analytics. You know, Halalan, there was a website which was put up by ABS-CBN. The technology that was used there for the May 2016 elections was the same technology used in the Obama campaign, except it was not turned on fully because it may have influenced some of the results. So all you saw there was how many tweets were positive and negative for each one of the senatorial candidates. But those things were done here, and the service was delivered by Filipinos. So we have that capacity because we have social media, because of the lesser cost of infrastructure that's coming out, because of the affordability of mobile devices. We have that capacity to take advantage of all of these 4 megatrends and be eminent in IT and software development.
Let me offer a slightly different perspective. I think we have to face the fact that not just the Philippines, but everybody else is into these emerging technologies. India is making a lot of investments. Definitely a lot of investments are coming out of the US as well. So I think a good part of the question for us in the Philippines is then, how do we get into these mega trends and at the same time be successful and scale it up? And I think the logical way, as we have always been successful in the rest of our IT BPM industry, and even in our IT, specifically in our software services industry, is actually align this to the strength of the country and of the industry. As a clear example, and we have been very successful in customer-oriented services that we have, I think we have to find a way how to leverage that nuance, that inherent strength that we have, in fact an inherent advantage that we have, and put it all together in the rest of the emerging technologies. And as I have said, otherwise we'll be like the rest of the pack. We'll be, I mean, India's a bigger industry that we have. The US has a lot more money to put into the investments. And so we have to be able to find a differentiator and say, in customer-related aspects, then we have an advantage. For example, in 24-hour services, 24/7 services, maybe we have an advantage. In the fact that we are bigger than the other countries in social media, that is probably something that we have to leverage.
Ben, you also deal with several other countries from a business perspective. What does the Filipino software developer, for example, bring to the table when it comes to the 4 megatrends that we're talking about here today?
Okay, in our particular company, we deal with the airline industry and healthcare industry. So these are companies that would really leverage on well, technologies and innovation. Sorry, you're so good looking. That's why I always look at you. So, okay.
I think she's talking.
So okay. So our clients are really looking at all of these megatrends, particularly on the big data, because analytics would play a big role in terms of trying to create new business models within their own industry or within their own company. So I think in our particular case, we really have to, we have an edge in terms of having all of this analytics, big data, mobile, social media, because we know how to use it, and at the same time, if we know the business domain, then putting one over the other allows us to really create a lot of great ideas that would present innovative solutions to our clients.
Our target segment is ISVs, so software companies who basically build their own products for their own market. So when they come to us, they have the business concept in mind. So all they are looking for is someone who can understand and who can convert it into a product that they can bring it to market. And yes, I mean, it's primarily led by demand, but we should be in a position to say what we can and cannot do. So that definitely requires some preparation.
Robert, are the Japanese clients the same page with that one?
It's pretty much the same, and I think over the years, what we've seen is that as the client transforms in terms of their requirements and the type of clients also, as Rick was saying, it's not the IT department anymore, but it's more of the end users and the C-level people that we talk to. They also require us to transform. So if I remember correctly, past 10 years ago, for example, we were doing simple tasks like coding, testing, and all those things. But in recent years, they've already started to ask for certain domain expertise. So they're actually requiring us to give them more, to know more also, and to give suggestions over and beyond the technology area. So as we were talking with BENG and NOEL early this morning, it's actually a bit of a challenge to keep up with those types of demands. But on the flip side of it, it's also a very good opportunity for service providers like us, because it means that we can actually sell more and move up the value chain as well.
So we talked about the opportunities. We talked about the Filipino capabilities. We talked about how we can approach that market. What is the potential point of failure? What should we watch out for? Because the opportunity seems to be the opportunity we know is fantastic. It's massive. We have the talent. We have the skills. Where's the point of failure? Rick?
I think the challenge we've seen is, we've moved from IT department to the business department, and we've moved in a gallop from waterfall to Scrum or Agile or whatever, is that it's kind of like the real estate paradigm. It's all about communication, communication, communication. So we found that if our phone lines are down for 10 minutes or we have a hiccup in our internet, our clients notice immediately, and it's an issue. And so I think that's the concern we have, is making sure that we have multiple lines back to our clients, multiple ways of doing this. So we not only use telephone, we use Skype, internet messaging, etc.
Good morning. I'm actually a startup, and then I'm just wondering, we're actually talking about cloud, mobile, and social big data. So basically, in our experience, our company is focusing on these things. We're offering cloud and mobile and big data analytics to the schools. But the problem here is that what we are facing is that the adaptability of the market. I mean, we're actually trying to sell the vision, but the problem is that the market is not ready. They're afraid of change. They're traditional. And then, how can we sell these things if the market is not that ready?
Okay. Well, typically when we look at being able to fill a need in the market, it's like the cell phone, right? The market didn't need another cell phone by Apple, but yet it was able to penetrate because it fulfilled multiple needs for that market. I don't think the market is not ready for technology or the change to the landscape of business. You could have argued that journalism wasn't ready for a Maria Ressa to evolve the model. But really, what she's been able to do is to monetize and to make useful the twist that she had for her business model. And I think it's looking for that sweet spot where you're actually fulfilling a specific need and creating value for that market, where we are able to sell that technology into that one. Because we can blue sky all we want, but if we're not fulfilling a specific need or a desire, then the technology will fall in deaf ears. No?
Thank you. ARUP?
Yeah, I suppose that is a true challenge, but there are ways to overcome it. You are in a better situation than ever before with global marketplaces. Like, you can put up your app on Chrome Web Store and you have like millions of visitors who can try it out. Or you can use social media for targeted marketing, and well, of course, depends on the product and what you're trying to cater to. Like, I mean, if it's something which is very specific to the local market and they don't have internet, then that is a challenge. But if it's a product that can be used globally, and you can reach out to them through the marketplaces, through targeted digital marketing, etc. So yes, that can be done.